This is a geometry problem. We have a square, which is in black, and then we also have a red rectangle, right? And then the square and the rectangle are positioned in this particular way. So this point is actually shared by both the square and also the rectangle, right? And then this point is on one side of the square, and this point is on one side of the rectangle, right? So we need to compare the area of these two shapes. So how do we solve this problem, right? So if you want to, so the squared area is going to be the square. So suppose this side length is L, right? It's just going to be L square, right? So the area of the square, is just L square, right? But what's going to be the area of the rectangle, right? So if you want to use the length and the width, we don't really know what's going to be the relation of the length and width with respect to L, right? So we know that the length is going to be longer than L, right? Because this is so if you look at this right angle triangle, then this is the longer side of the longer edge of the right angle triangle. So this one is larger than this one. But what about this one? Right? This width is definitely smaller than the L, right? So it's kind of a difficult to solve. It's hard to say which one is bigger, right? So now let's try to connect these two dots. Let's try to connect these two dots. Right. So let's look at this particular triangle, and this particular triangle is actually shared both by the square and also the rectangle, right? So what's going to be the area of this triangle, right? So if you look at this triangle inside of this rectangle, so it's going to be the base. If we look at the base, right, the base is going to be L, right? The height is going to be L2, right? So this triangle inside of the square is going to be what the area of the triangle. Suppose it's S, right? S is going to equal to the base is L times the height, which is also L, right? And then divided by 2, right? So it's L squared divided by 2. So it's half of the area of the square, right? But this triangle is also inside of the rectangle, right? It's also inside of the rectangle. So if we treat this side as the edge, this side as a base, right? Then that's going to be the width of the rectangle, right? The width is it's going to be the width of the rectangle. It's W, right? And then what's going to be the height, right? The height, no, it's going to be let's denote this side as width, but this side as height, h, right? H, right? So S also equals to what? To W times H divided by 2, right? W and H. But what exactly is W times H, right? W times H is exactly the area of the rectangle, right? So S is both half of the area of the rectangle, the red rectangle, and also half of the area of the square. And S equals to S. So it means what? It means L square equals to W times H, right? So the area of the square is equal to the area of the rectangle. Did you get it right?